questions. Hi everybody, this is the Sci-Fi Model Action Euro Hangout for the 11th of January. Had to think for a minute. Second one of 2015. Joined here this evening by a few guys. I'm hoping anyone else is on that wants to join in. Just click on the link, or if you can't get the link, message me and I'll add you into the conversation. As always, I want to say thanks to Boyd Crumpton for allowing us to host this under the SFMA banner, and of course his sponsors of HDA Model Works for all your LED needs, and also to Ralph Tanaglia at Tenna Controls for lighting boards for spaceships and other science-related modeling. 4 of us or 5 of us here tonight. Beg your pardon. I know Jamie Shiner's as usual going to save the world in pet terms, and he has to head off shortly. So if it's chat to Jamie first, you want to say hello, Jamie?
Hello, yeah, I'm Jamie Shiner from Cheshire in the UK, modelling for about 20 years, and basically still working on the Enterprise. I've now completed the, I've got the light blocking done, the LEDs are in but they're not wired up, the band's on and it's been filled, but it's on like the sanding phase. I've just got rid of the phaser banks on top here, because they're not on the model, and the watch is finally in. You can see this. So that's in. The bottom source has been prepped and ready, and I've completed the. I'm just working on the impulse engines. I haven't got the grills in yet, but they're getting there. So I've done that on the impulse engines. So we're getting there with that. And then the rec deck is looking very 70s. So that's where I'm.
It looks right, but it looks right, which is the important thing.
Oh,
the impulse engines there. Have you? Is that a painted with a red Tamiya, or have you done that?
No. First of all, I covered these over, and then I completely coated the whole lot in black. After that, I went over with a grey primer. After that, I gave it a white coat on the inside for reflectivity. Then I peeled off these 4 here, and I've done it with a red clear.
Looks excellent. Yeah.
The grills are going to be painted black here, and then put onto them with the photo edge. So it'll come out. It'll come through like the black and the red, and when the bulb hits it, it's going to be like a orangey red glow. So we should work out quite well eventually when I've finished it.
How have you been getting on with the photo etch since? Still any more hassles, or is it?
No. I mean, the photo edge is fine. It's just sometimes I mean, I find sometimes it doesn't really stick with conventional. I've been using that proper stuff for it, but it sometimes it doesn't really stick it on. And
CA glue, or what are you sticking it with?
No, I've been using the foil adhesive, especially designed for photo edge, but
right.
It doesn't really stick it that well. You know what I mean?
I know people who use the glue and glaze stuff, you know, the stuff that we use for doing windows.
Yeah.
But the problem with that, you have to leave it for at least a day, probably more, before it sets completely.
Yeah.
I don't know about Dean. If Dean uses anything specific for you done much photo etch, Dean?
Yeah, I just use super glue.
Just super glue, yeah.
Super glue it on?
Yeah, I mean, it depends if it's under stress or not. But a lot of it's usually flat in it, and a lot of it's going to be more curved. And if it's under a bit of strain, you know, eat it up first and let it cool down about 5 times, and it takes springiness out of it. But super glue, I've had no trouble with mine. Super glue, even the VIP window frame which you just showed, I done that in super glue, filled it, sanded it. It's lovely. That pinged up or nothing. But that foil adhesive, Jamie, is it like PVA glue, isn't it?
It's similar, yeah.
Micro metal foil adhesive.
I would have thought that's strong enough, even if you recommend it. I mean, do you know what I mean? Is it like PVA stuff?
It's fast dry and permanent, easy to apply, creative, realistic for metallic surfaces.
Weird. Well, I've never ever used that, and I've done tons of photo etch, to be honest, and not had a problem with it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to actually stick that well. So it's not something.
As Dean says, the danger would be if there's any springiness left in the photo etch at all, it'll just
Ping off.
at some stage. I suppose that's the only thing you need to be very careful about it.
I've also been working on the Elvira. I thought I'd give that a quick have a look at that. See what Now, before I show you it, there's a lot of problems with that kit. The major problem with the Elvira kit I've found is the arms don't fit the body.
Yeah.
Now, if you imagine that the torso is like this, right? And then the hands are connected to the waist here. So then it goes from the socket, and then the part goes onto the waist. So when you come to, you cut off the wastage on the arms, it fits into the socket, and it's supposed to connect onto the hand, onto the waist here. But it comes like that far away from it. And I don't understand that at all. It just, so...
It's a vinyl kit, isn't it? It doesn't need to be, heated or manipulated in any way to get it to fit, or...
Well, you heat it to cut off the access.
Yeah.
So you can always heat it as well as you're constructing it, Jamie. I mean, I've done vinyl kits before, and they've been like inch gaps, and I've had to cut a hole.
I'm talking about if that's the torso.
Yeah.
The arm was coming down to here, and it's supposed to join onto here. That means there's that much too much plastic on the arms. So
bend the elbow out more.
Tried that, wouldn't stop. Try heat bending it.
Have you got it there to show us what you mean?
Yes, I have got something to show you. Now, what I did do is it's not finished. It's by far finished, and I've had to. You remember how I kit bashed the submarine characters? Well, I've literally had to try and kit bash her together, but it's coming. So don't expect miracles. There's a lot of work to do on that.
Man's arm on there.
But she's coming, and I've got a lot of work still to do. But I've got it somewhat like. I don't know what you guys think. There you go.
Looks all right.
Look, I've had to really fill her, which I'm still working on. So, but I've had that, literally this part here that goes onto the hand here, this is the hand bit here, right? So it fits in a socket there, and then this here.
Oh right.
So literally, if you put the arm socket in there where it should have gone, the arm was down here. And there was no way to manipulate that much to get it into there. So all I had to do is literally cut her arms down, and then I'm slowly filling in, and I'll re-scribe some of the detail in here to get her back looking like something that was. But it's the only way this kit's going to get together.
Surprising it's that far out, but
yeah, I was really surprised. But I shall preserve it, and I shall carry on, and a lot of sanding and a lot of cleaning and a lot of moulding, and she'll come around.
yeah,
If I can pick,
it's a nice looking model.
yeah, it will be when it's done. But if I can do the submarine, fix that, I'm sure I can fix her.
It's all part of practice and learning and adapting. It's
Experience.
Yeah.
But I fill the legs up with plaster, so she stands like, so she doesn't fall over.
You can hear she's heavy now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's got a bit of weight to her, so all the bottom leg part from here is all filled with plaster of Paris.
She's
So
not top heavy anymore.
no, she's bottom heavy now. But like I said, I've been working on that, so.
Okay. If, what's the schedule with the Enterprise then? I mean, just seal her up, or it's still a long time away?
Oh God, no! I've got to do all the. I've got to re-sand these, fine sand these down. I've got to do the edges. I've then got to put all the wiring in for the LEDs. Yeah. There's the crystal to do. There's the impulse engines to do. There's the officers' lounge to do. There's loads to do on this yet. And that's before you even do the final finished paint job on the bloody job. And then there's a crystal to do here. And all this has got to be wired up to the board. And then it's then I've got to work on the bottom saucer and do all the LEDs for that, and the observation part here. This bit at the bottom on the bottom of the saucer with the lights coming out, and then finally I'll be able to put the two together and start working on the body.
I don't know if you've seen, I think it's Sci-Fi Modeler on Facebook. I don't know if it's, I think that's what it was, Dean. I saw it on someone had done actually the doors opening in the saucer. He's actually motorized the whole thing with the doors open.
The doors coming out with the saucer bit.
Yeah, that's just.
The little tiny ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little. It's not bad.
We've actually got them. So it appears as it did in Dry Dock before it left. So then they're actually motorized. They open and close. So
yeah, that's dedication. But I've got the
sanity.
The new bridge done. Because obviously the other one got a bit ruined, and I've put in the. It's going to be a bit bright because it's not on the tester, but that's in. You can see that.
That is bright, yeah.
Yeah, it will be. This is one of the bulbs from Jerry, and obviously it's not going to be that bright when it's done because it's not going to be permanently on. It's just going to be flashing. But all the edgings, that's fitted in. I've got some SMDs to go here, and two different ones to go here because it's different lights coming out of those points. And then all the edgings, the little bits of the plastic are on the inside of the ledges. I think you can see them.
Have you raised that up at all, Liam?
Yeah, I've raised it. If you look closely, you can see where the seam is. I think you can see that.
It's like apparently if you raise it 2 mil forward, 2 mil forward and 2 mil up, you can get the projection working.
Yeah, well, what I've done is I've actually put a complete piece of plastic round and raised the whole thing up, and then sanded it back down, and then I've put in the. You can see the little bit of plastics on the inside of the side.
Yeah.
So to direct the light, yeah.
Hang on. Maybe if I put my finger there, you can see them. You see them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, those will direct the light. Each one of them has got one on each side. They're on the inside of the actual this.
I've stuck mine on already.
Stuck yours on where?
On top of the saucer.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I've got all the LEDs wired up into it as well. I'll get it lit up for you.
I mean, the reason I've not wired mine up yet is I'm waiting for an modification from Ralph on his board. At the moment, my crystal just lights up yellow, and I want it to change to blue when the chiller grills come on.
Yeah.
And it means that there's going to have to be a slight difference in the way it's wired up, and Ralph's working it out for me at the moment. That's why I've done none of my wiring, because I don't want to follow the directions of the wiring and have to suddenly change it because Ralph's changed what I need to do. You with me?
Yeah. Oh, I just made it up as I go along. It looks a bit like a spaghetti on a plate at the minute.
God. What?
There's tons of wiring in there.
Yeah, what's that bit at the bottom there? What have you done there?
That's a light block. It's got foil adhesive tape on there.
Right.
So all the lighting in there stays in there and doesn't spread anywhere else.
Right.
Because I think there's 4 LEDs in there, one in the middle to point the back, and then one each way. Yeah,
well, I've got on the front one there. I've got an SMD that's totally different too, because the light that comes out of there, the one at the front, is slightly different to the one that comes out the sides.
Oh.
It's the way the production goes with the light. Are you with me? It's the same as on this. You've got the where have I done with it? The light that comes out of this piece at the front, right, goes onto the saucer top where the registration is. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the ones at the side are different power.
Yes, between spotlights and just illumination.
Yeah, so it's slightly different. So you've got the two variations of the two different lights coming out. So what I've got for that is I've got some 2 different types of SMDs with different power outages.
They're great SMDs. I love them.
What are you using for the front of yours? You're using an LED for the front of yours?
Yeah, that's just an LED on there.
Yeah. I'm using one of these, and it's I can actually show you this silver one there. Bear with me a second. Got one there. Oh, yeah, somewhere. Yeah, I'll get one out here. I'm using one of these. Let me see this. Now,
does it say on it what, is it like a
yeah, this
06?
is a 320 white SMD.
But it doesn't give you a number?
What do you mean? Yeah,
they're normally an 06, 03 or an 04 or something.
It's a 3020.
That's a fairly big one, really.
Well, it is for this. It's for the front and the light power that comes out. I'll show you. Here we go with this.
Oh, they are intense, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what half these wires do now.
I think what I have, I'm going to probably be taking part in John Petrie's enterprise build on Sci-Fi Addiction UK. And what I'm probably going to do is the old Enterprise 1537 scale one, which came with a lighting kit.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
Already,
I've done that one, Liam.
Yeah, and it's just to keep it simple, you know. And it's grain of wheat bulbs, so I'll have to change them all to LEDs for longevity. That's as complicated as I want to get in the meantime.
Yeah, well, like I said to you, like I said all along, I haven't spent out over nearly £1,000 for this just to play around with it. I am trying to get it like the studio model. And to do that, the studio model has different variations of light and intensities. And I've talked to long and hard with Jerry over what light comes out of the Enterprise. And, you know, that's why I am using what I'm using, because he is a great source on lights of what the Enterprise come out. So I literally just went out and got the whole light for the Enterprise off him. So I know exactly where they go, what they're doing, and how many I've got.
Now, if we move on to Dean for a minute, I mean, Dean, when you have the Enterprise there, you know, is that something you've put on hold, or is it something you've been working on off and on, or?
It's an off and on job, you know, when you've got nothing else to do. I have a fiddle with it again. I got lights going on it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's nowhere near finished. It's nowhere near even close. I just stuck LEDs here and there, optic fibers here and there, bit of photo etch, but it's not something I want to not do, so I just do it when I get 5 minutes.
And that's a personal build. That's not for anyone.
I put the what's it called in that? It's nice that photo etch.
Observation.
Yeah, it is nice, that is, isn't it?
It blends in lovely.
What are you going to do for the clear part on that? Are you going to use the kit part, or are you going to put a clear?
I'll just get a bit of perspex.
Yeah, I was thinking putting it because because the actual kit piece blurs it.
Yeah, they always do, don't they? They can never get them nice and thin. I mean, what I tend to do is, I'll show you. Hang on a minute. Whenever there's anything that's clear on a kit, hang on a second. Whenever there's anything clear on a kit, if I can, I swap it for this sort of stuff.
Yeah,
PFE sort of thing, is it?
That's the packaging off a little toolkit I had. Now, obviously, some of it might be a bit scuffed, or it might be a bit distorted, but you're bound to find at least one piece that you can trim off and use, and it's dead clear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, good idea.
That stuff's normally chopped out, not here. Saves.
It'll come in useful until you end up with so much of it you don't know where to put it.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. You've got to start knowing when to throw things out.
The big project, of course, you posted some pictures this week of the Klingon bird of prey, and you were saying it's progressing, but it's frustrating at the same time.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those things that I don't want to give up because it's a challenge, and I think we do models because they're a bit of a challenge. You can't never get anything that just goes slap, 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 done. But this is like nearly every piece that comes in the bag got to be altered, changed, or tarted up before it actually stick, or it can fit in the place it's going. I mean, I put some lighting in this week, first bit of lighting, and this piece goes, well, that's where it would go, but from underneath you'd see that, look. And I put a couple of LEDs in there, and a bit of red acetate, And you can't see straight through that, even though there's a light behind. You can't see straight through that. That's all that is tracing paper as a diffuser, which works nice because once I light it up, I mean these things are bright, but from the other side, like it looks terrible there actually. I think looking at my camera, but in real life it's just an even red glow.
The camera will always cause a hot spot. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's no hot spot there. It's lovely, and obviously I use metal foil around these things so the light wouldn't leak out. But that little crossbar with the LEDs in, I sort of fabricated that myself.
I'm sort of amazed the size you're actually working because you know some of those boxes are like massive. The pieces are massive. I mean,
Have you seen it, Jake?
not completely, no, but I'll say it's going to be massive when you've done it, isn't it?
There you go.
Oh my God, that's just the body, isn't it? The middle piece. Jesus Christ.
I want one.
You don't.
Yeah, well, I was going to say the same thing, Andy. I mean, we're all saying it's enormous, but we wouldn't refuse one.
What scale is that?
If you could afford one, that's fair enough. But then you've got to think of how much you'll get stung by import tax.
Well, that's the other thing I wanted to ask Dean. It's like, is that the Nyson Models one?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I thought they stopped producing kits.
They started up again, Andy. I don't know how it worked out. They seem to get the license or something happened that they've.
Because the guy from the Nyson Models, I'm sure he was displaying a prototype Soloco on there last week.
No, that's someone else. I think that's a friend of his.
It looked nice, good size.
Yeah,
What size is that, dude?
that picture was up because it was up in Memoriam or something because that bloke got run over.
Oh, bloody
So that's
hell.
not his Blacko.
Dean?
Yeah.
What's the eventual size of that construction?
Hang on, I haven't got a tape in here, Jamie, but it's massive. I think it's something like 40 odd inches from the front to the back. I'll dry assemble it whilst we're on here, and you can see.
I mean, the body looks massive.
The person you're doing this for, I mean, have they a plan for it? Do they want to? Have they got somewhere to display it, or?
He's got tons of stuff. He's got like quarter scale Predators. He's got the what's it called? Master replicas. AT-AT. He's got master replicas Millennium Falcon. He's got a whole collection of stuff. A half scale Terminator skeleton. So this is part of his many things.
I think he's a lottery winner then.
I'm going to go and burgle his house. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I know, we're just jealous.
Stick it in his display room, that's it. That's
I'm going to have to shoot off, I'm afraid.
Okay, Andy, understood.
But yeah, I wanted to show my face and that. I know I couldn't be on long, but thanks very much.
Oh, no, okay.
I'll see you all next time.
Chat during the week. Okay. So if you're doing that as a customer build, I mean, do you have to work to a schedule? Has he said you have to have this ready for?
No, I wouldn't do it. I mean, if he said that, I'd say, well, you have to get someone else because I'm really slow.
I think you're really fast. So
yeah.
Compared with me, I know you're going at a rate of knots, but.
No, seriously. I mean, compared to a lot of people I know, I am slow because I tend to get distracted easily.
But then that can be a good thing, you know, if you don't want to dwell on something too much, get tied up in it, and maybe. That's fantastic. Yeah.
God, that's huge.
Hang on, there's more.
That is huge.
In the camera.
And then once the wings go on it, it'll be
Massive.
Yeah. Are the wings adjustable or are they fixed?
They will be adjustable. I mean, there's just a pivot point here, but I'm going to put like washers in them, dog teeth washers they're called, and they grip. So when you tighten it a certain way, it'll stay where you put them.
Is that going to have retractable feet?
No, there's no feet included even.
Yeah.
Still, and then a paint job obviously will take us maybe as long as building it.
Yeah, I think so. Because it's not just a straightforward job; it's got to be weathered to the max. You know, there's rest, color.
And you're going to have lighting to in the main hull and the command section. That'll be lit as well.
I'll light it all.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the engines actually before I come on here. I got I got some LEDs set up ready for those, which are nice. This look, I think it was like £2.50 off eBay, and there's the engines. And luckily, I don't know if you can see.
Designed to fit.
Look at that. I just need to get another one. Look, so two will cover that lovely.
Isn't that lucky?
It's all worked out in the planning. I'll light it up. Hang on.
How many LEDs are in the unit? Looks like quite a few.
48.
Oh.
How many?
48.
48.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's a good effect, that, isn't it?
I mean, it's a nice little panel for like £2.50, I think it was.
Yeah.
So I've ordered another 2 of those, one to go there, one to go alongside it. That'll like that. I was thinking of having one in the cockpit, just shining it, fill the entire cockpit with reflective foil, so it hopefully then should just bounce back and come out the windows.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You may have to put. Sorry, you fill the windows with some kind of glazing material, acrylic.
Like very thin sheet plastic going.
Right.
Very like so. It's like
you may need something to work as a lens in order for the light to come out properly, but.
Yeah, well, I'll scuff the back of the plastic up so it'll diffuse it a bit.
Yeah. I look forward to seeing it finished. Maybe what? Have you a time in mind? Or how much?
6 months.
6 months time.
Yeah.
Right. Be lovely when it's done. Looking forward to seeing it.
Give me a De Boer's Enterprise next.
Ooh.
Oh.
Right. Big job as well. Speaking of big jobs, I know Bob's been busy doing his Star Wars build. Very impressive as well this week. We've seen some pictures of it. Do you want to let us have a look, Bob?
All right. Here's the.
How big is the panel? That's about what 24 inches by
It
36
is
or something, or
20 by 30.
What you building? Death Star.
Death Star.
Trench.
Yeah, trench for the TIE fighter and Darth Vader's fighter. I don't know how many vehicles.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
Aren't you?
That's a mock-up.
Nice.
Where it's at.
It's the trench run scene.
Sorry?
It's the trench run scene.
Yep.
Right.
And you have an X-Wing as well to go with it?
No,
I do, but there's not going to be room for it.
Right.
I'm just going to focus on the. Let me bring it out. Okay. So basically, the 2 TIE fighters are pretty much going to cover the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, what you could do, Bob, you could have pieces of X-Wing coming off the side, one of these panels here, like it's just been destroyed.
You're giving them ideas.
So yeah, I've been working on that. It's almost done. And then I've got my Christmas present I have to start here soon.
Oh, I have one of them.
Darth Vader.
And we're going to light up his belt and his chest plate on that.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I've got, considering putting a couple LEDs in this yet, but then basically it's pretty much there. So, it'll be done here in a day or so. Put a couple LEDs in, make them elongated to help give the illusion of movement.
Is that a vinyl kit or a...
The Vader?
Yeah.
No, that's the 1992 MPC kit.
Right. So it is a normal plastic, yeah.
Yeah.
What about the lightsaber? What do you do with that?
It's the glow-in-the-dark lightsaber, and his eyes also glow in the dark.
Right. You wouldn't be tempted to try and light it?
Yeah, I'm going to light up the chest plate and the belt.
No, I meant to light the lightsaber itself.
I might try and put a red SMD in the bottom there and see if it casts up. But it's molded in a frost. Let me find it here. It's molded in a glow-in-the-dark white plastic. So I don't know how well it'll carry light. mean, I've got a UV LED. I can put it in there to make it glow in the dark, but it's to be green instead of red. You know, all the bad guys have to have red. Unless you're Mace Windu, then you get to be purple. Good guys are green or blue, and the bad guys are all. So it's molded in that funky clear.
Larger than I thought it would be, yeah.
I had one of those years ago. I built it up and took it to a show, and someone bought it off me. And then within half an hour, they put it on their store, but they got Dave Prowse to sign it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good size.
I did
the. Well, let me pop it off here. There's the torso.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And the man himself right there. The man, the myth, the legend.
Oh, that's quite large, yeah.
No. Are you going to light up the eyes? Well.
No, his eyes didn't light up. They just had that kind of, they used like a smoky glass for his eyes. So I'm not going to light up his eyes, just his chest and his belt. And I'm going to try to get that lightsaber to glow red.
No, it'll be interesting to see as well. But and then did I see a ship? You're on the another hangout, and I saw you had a huge big. It's a constellation.
Yeah, the 96 scale Constitution.
Constitution.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
USS Constitution.
Yeah.
That's going to take me the better part of a year to do.
Any plans after Vader, or is that? Well, of course, the obvious question is.
I've got the Falcon.
The Falcon.
It's in the sink right now. The Hasbro Falcon.
What are you just washing it with?
Dawn dishwashing detergent.
Right. Same as I did.
Yeah. Just to make sure there's no oil on it.
It is a strange material, definitely, and it definitely needs washed. I don't know. Are you going to use anything else on it, like an abrasive of any kind, or?
I think I'm gonna just hit it with the adhesion promoter, the duplicate adhesion promoter, and the high fill primer, and then start painting it.
Yeah.
Because then I'm not gonna use any high tack tape for masking, so I think I'll be all right with just that. So we'll find out.
There is quite a bit of research. You've seen the stuff on the RPF forum, and a lot of people publishing pictures and so on. What they're doing, and it's lots of different levels people are attacking it at. I was saying to Bob earlier on, Randy Cooper is building one as well on his Facebook page. He's posting pictures, and he seems to be using shapeways parts for a lot of it, plus resin parts that he's had from previous builds.
As well, didn't he?
Sorry, Dean?
He said he's going to be releasing his own parts as well to upgrade.
Yeah, it's not very clear from the postings. It sounds like he is, but then people keep asking him questions, but it doesn't seem to answer the questions that are asked. But maybe I've missed some of the posts, but it's certainly, if he can produce one at a reasonable cost, I definitely think there'll be a lot of people interested in getting it. I probably won't touch the Hasbro again now for a while. Just a few other things that I'm hoping to do this year, between now and the summer, and the Falcon probably will wait, perhaps until later on in the year, when near the time that the movie comes out in December.
339 days.
Oh dear. That's a bad saying when you know how many days. And I've been the same with the Star Trek movie. Bob,
I got an app on my phone that has the countdown to Star Wars, and then just look at it, and it tells you every day. I
think there'll be a lot of interest in built-up models as well. I mean, it's the type of thing that there might be a market for near the time. I know someone in the UK is selling the Falcon on eBay in a painted state. He's not doing anything to it apart from a paint job, and he seems to be selling quite a few of them. So there is an interest in that. And then with the it's just, I mean, it's when you sort of, when you see the size of it, it's the size of it. It's a bit like the Klingon bird of prey that Dean has. When you see the size of it, that's it's jaw dropping. And I think anyone that saw one in the flesh would want one.
Yeah, I plan on just hanging it in the corner of my basement down there, and then I'm gonna grab another of those Revell basic TIE fighters, which is the same scale.
Yeah.
And have it just like chasing it, hanging from the ceiling. I'm just gonna throw a couple strips of LED tape in to light up the engine. Put a 9-volt battery in it to turn it on when I want.
Yeah.
You know,
Just
I'm not
as
gonna
a wall or a display setup. Just yeah. I know the one I did for the Christmas present. It's now on the wall of the guy it was for, and it was my son's friend, and he's
That would
over
be a neat thing to do too. You could do that out of the foam core, kind of like I did here.
Yeah.
You do the section of the Star Destroyer,
Mm-hmm.
and then set the Falcon flat on it.
That the material you use for it, is that the foam display board? Is that what it is, or?
Yeah, it's the foam core. Yeah.
And then just cut the pieces out and make layers. Is that how you want to put it?
Yeah, it's just the Elmer's foam board. I got the black to make it easier, but it comes in different colors, white, whatever. Yeah, it's just foam core.
I've never seen that stuff in the UK now. I must keep an eye out and see if I see it. I know there's a white board that's used for poster display. It's a sort of about a quarter-inch thick.
Yeah.
That's probably it, Liam.
Yeah, it's probably just, I've never seen it in another colour, Dean.
No.
I've still got my 1/29 scale X-wing that I've never finished the base on. I've got the models finished, but I never finished the base. Yeah. I keep thinking, I know someone on eBay again does Death Star sections. He sells little sections. You buy as many as you need to make up an area for a model display, but they're £25 each, so they're quite expensive.
Yeah, I just got to work when I work at Walmart, and they have it in several different colors of the foam core board. Yeah, $3 or $4.
And the brand name in the States is what? Did you say Elmer's?
This one is Elmer's.
Right, no, I don't think there's anybody in the UK would distribute.
They make glue as well, don't they?
Sorry, Dean?
They make glue, I think, as well.
Oh yeah, the Elmer's glue is the classic one. That's everyone talks about Elmer's glue, yeah. But, I must keep an eye out. We don't have a hobbycraft over here in Northern Ireland. I know you've got that place in the UK that sort of does.
Yeah, even our little Dollar Tree stores have the foam core, and they have the black as well.
Right, no, nothing like that here. So I'll
One thing to do with the foam core is first thing you want to do to it is dust it 3 or 4 times with the dull coat to seal the pores in the paper.
Right.
Otherwise, when you start globbing all the glue on and the paint on, it'll curl.
Ah, right. Good point. Yeah.
And if you done the paper first, it won't curl up.
Yeah. Have you done both sides or just the front side?
I just did the front side.
Right.
And actually, if I get it, it did curl just a little bit from the work I did, but not enough to worry about. It actually looks good.
Yeah.
Just that little bit of curl to it.
Well, certainly, it certainly looks the part. I know a lot of people have always been trying to do the Death Star diorama setup, and it's just so big that the method you pick's sort of obviously going to make a big difference.
Yeah, I got about.
That seems to work.
I've got about $6 invested in this right now. A lot of hours, but only about $6 worth of money. So, yeah, foam core is great stuff. I love it.
I must try and source some for this X-wing. What about the bird of prey, Dean? Is that going to be just on a stand? Is that the plan?
Yeah, or he wants it to put it on a shelf, but I don't think his shelves will,
Oh, there would need to be a 6-foot deep shelf, I think.
Yeah. So I think it's just going to stand on the floor, probably on something like this. But at the minute, it's like threaded bar. But what I was going to do was, obviously the wires have got to come out of there, and then just slide maybe a chrome table leg over the bar so it finishes off nice and polished, Yeah. It looks a bit more better than just thread. You know what I mean?
I've been looking at display option or stand options for some of the stuff I'm thinking of doing this year, and I know Maplin in the UK, which is sort of similar to a Radio Shack in the States, do those microphone jacks where there's 3, 4, 6, or 8 connectors.
Yeah, and you plug it in and screw it together so it don't come apart.
but obviously it wouldn't have the strength to hold a bird of prey that size. It wouldn't work.
Do an Enterprise, wouldn't it? Do probably like
Doing it, it's about as big as you could go with it, I think, allowing for the weight of the model.
Well, a lot
That's
of
why
people, obviously, they jam it into copper tubing, so it doesn't move in part of the tubing, and they can just drop their model on top and do the thread up.
Yeah, because one of the difficulties I have with at X-Wing, because of the size of the stand I chose for it, you can't transport it anywhere. It's just very awkward.
Yeah.
So in future, I want to make sure that any other models I build that they have a construction system that there is a removable stand, and it is a simple connector, and those microphone jacks just are perfect for it. I don't know what Jamie's planning to do with his eventually.
What, the Enterprise?
Yeah.
Wally Planaski's building me a base. He's actually building me a full base for it, and it's going to have the lights up, lights down thing on the base itself. So when I press a button, it'll light up like that.
Oh, I've seen those on YouTube. They look great. Like one of the displays in the film.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, it's like a shields up, shield down.
That's it.
Having that put on the base. And
where's that coming from, Jamie?
Wally. He's
Wally Pasternak.
Yeah, he's a mate of mine in America. We've got pretty close over the months and months.
He's known as Starfleet Model Academy on Google Community.
And he's doing it for my 50th, which was in August. But I just left it with him, and he's doing me the base for it. So that's going to come over to the UK.
Expensive to transport?
Not that actually. I mean, I had a package from him, and it was just under 10. So that was like all these kits. So yeah,
it'd be nice to see it again. That's the ideal weight. I know Dave Pashtag did one as well for the TOS Enterprise.
Yeah,
that's impressive. The same idea with all the switches and controls in it.
It's like this.
Transporter.
I mean, the way I'm looking at this is, I'm just going that little bit extra. I mean, some people who build this, or most people I see who build this, they don't want to remove these because they don't think about it. But I'm moving the actual phaser banks because they're not on this actual studio model. They're just drawn on. But because this is going to actually have a phaser and photo torpedo banks on them,
you've got to put it back on.
Well, no, it's going to have the SMDs with little holes, and it's going to fire like with the sound. So you'll see a flash of light.
Those little bumps in on there.
No, they're not.
Oh bugger! I'm going to have to take mine off now then.
They're not on any of the studio models. They're round 2 put them on.
Weird.
Yeah, they're actually on the actual studio model. They're actually painted on.
Right.
On the top of the saucer.
I'm going to take mine off then later on.
Yeah, I mean I've done those ones, and I've started to do. I've done one on this one. So there's a finished one. See, it's gone.
Yeah.
And there's one. There's one to be done. So yeah, they're not on there. And what I'm actually having, you see, is I'm going to drill 2 little holes here, big enough for an SMDs, and have 2 little orangey red SMDs there. And then when they go to the board, which I've got the phaser on for, they'll just fire and they'll just strike off. But they won't be white; they'll be red, as they were in the movie. So you get 2 little red glows there, and then from the photo torpedo, you'll get a darker red. So you'll see the contrast between the photo torpedoes and the phasers.
Yeah.
Because at no time in any of the movies are the phasers white. They were either blue or red. They were never ever white. So that's my intention to do with that. And overall, I've got about 7. I think I'm up to 7 boards for it now, for the Enterprise.
That's why you need a big base then.
Yeah, basically, they're all going to go in the base. I've got the photo and phaser board. I've got the MEVV board that runs the whole caboodle. Then you've got the thruster board, sound board, shields up, shield down board, and there's just loads of bloody boards, and they've all got to be connected and come in as working as in. Because my intention for this is to have it working, so it won't go exactly to the music, but you press one of the buttons, the music will start playing, and then this thing will come up like Ralph's got it, like puff, puff, puff.
Yeah. Just like it.
Attention with it to do it like it's in dry dock.
Yeah, that's a great scene. That is.
Yeah, and the only difference will be
You're gonna have to put it on YouTube and watch it.
Say again.
Every now and then I have to put that scene on YouTube and just watch it.
It's great, isn't it? It's a fantastic scene to watch, and that's what I'm trying to recreate is that moment where it starts up. So you got the music playing, and it comes on in 10 seconds bursts with the different lights, and I think it's fantastic. But at the end of the day, to do that, you've got to have all these different boards, because the thruster board works on its own, so it flashes independent on the thrusters. It doesn't work off the main board because the main board hasn't got a thruster board.
That's the little yellow things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the thrusters. Those are those are the ones that come out of here. These ones.
I've got mine wired up, but they need to go like sporadic, do they? I don't want them on all the time, do I? What?
Yeah.
They should be. They're supposed to be station keeping, so the whole idea is that if the ship's moving, it's keeping it in one place that's not moving about.
Yeah.
So they're all just light on.
No. They come on in different sequences. If you imagine the ships like this, going out of dry dock, if you have them all on, it's not. What's the point of that? They fire. So they fire here and they fire here and they fire down here.
Like real retros on real rockets. But
yeah, basically, yeah, they're like little thrusters, and what it does, if it's pushing that side too far, it pushes it back.
If you see the renders of the NX01 that Doug Drexler has put online for that, the close-up shots actually show you rocket control or attitude adjusters the same as you have on a spacecraft now, and they're actually exactly the same. One up, one down, one left, one right.
That's right, and what Ralph has done, he created a thruster board for this. And it's just a board, just for the thrusters. And you wire that, all the LEDs into this board, and they come on at random times as the ship is switched on. So they're in a random sequence, and not just permanently on.
There's random flashing then, Jamie.
Yeah.
Like each toy, and I got something that's got random flashing circuit. I can use that.
Yeah, you could do, yeah.
Well, that's what I'll do then, because I was just going to leave mine on, but like you say, it might look a bit stupid.
Yeah, because you got the navs that flash.
Yeah.
Central one on the dome that flashes. You got the two at the back that flash. You got the one at the front that flashes. And then if you have this thrusters on all the time, it doesn't look right. They actually if you imagine this, the thrusters like you'd have one go off there, then one go off there, and then you might go back to that one and come on to that one.
Yeah.
And this is what Ralph's board does, and there's 10 of these on the ship. So you got
all 10.
Yeah, the board is for the whole 10. The 10 board. I mean, I can show you.
You have them on the warp cells as well.
Yeah, I mean this is the actual. I should show you this because I've actually got it here. So, yeah, there you go.
Bit higher.
This is the wiring for the thrusters.
Oh, okay, yeah. You gonna wire all up yourself then, Jamie?
Oh yeah. I mean that's the thrusters.
Cool.
So that's the top.
Yeah.
And then you've got. Hang on. Oh, the other picture's down. Look, give me a second. I dropped it.
There's a couple of them around the sensor, isn't there? The deflector dish.
Say again?
There's like 4 of them or 3 or 4 of them around the sensor, the deflector dish.
Yeah, I mean, there's the bottom piece. So there you have thrusters for the bottom.
Yeah.
But I think what Bob means is around the deflector dish as well. You've got a couple. Top, bottom, left, right.
Yeah, but they're on the main board.
All right. Okay.
So they're actually working from the main board itself, which is rats. See, what I want to do at the moment here is where the crystal's connected up. You see this?
Yeah.
Right. So what I want to do is I want to connect this part to the nacelles. And at the moment it doesn't. It just connects on its own with the impulse drive. So it just comes on yellow when the impulse drive works. But what I want it to do is I want the crystal to come on red when orange when it's yellow when it's with the impulse engines, and then change to blue for the nacelles. But this board doesn't actually set up for that at the moment, so Ralph's working me out a circuit how to put a bipolar bulb in, which I'm just waiting on him now. And these are your two switches here. You see them? One's for your movie sequence, and the other one's a manual sequence. So you can do it manually with that one, and then you just press that once and it runs through the movie sequence. And that's all this popping up with the lights. It's pretty good.
I was saying about, say, John Petrie from Sci-Fi, sorry, get this right. Sci-Fi Styrene Addiction UK, I think that's right. Has a thing starting the 1st of February, which is an enterprise build, and I know there's quite a few people that are interested in taking part. But are you tempted, Jamie, to do another smaller enterprise, or since yours doesn't count, since you've already started it, you can't start until the 1st of February, you say?
Well, I was looking at the 1100 and getting Ralph's board, but I sort of think I've got enough of this on my plate, and I've got the models I'm doing.
It might be an incentive to sort of take a rest in a sense and achieve something and be happy with it, you know, rather than maybe launch into the big one.
That's why I've started to do that Elvira one, just to give me something to do.
Yeah, well, I mean, my plans to do the you can probably see the Aztecing on that thing.
That's one of the old ones, isn't it, Liam?
It's the that's 1982 or 84, I think it is. It was they originally brought a kit out for the motion picture, and it was smooth. And then what they did was they took the mold and basically ruined it by applying all of. Again, I don't know this camera's not. You can see the way they're.
Yeah, I can see them.
Yeah, I mean, even those phasers, the phasers would be about 12 foot tall if that was scaled up to, you know. So it's a case of what do I do? Do I just, in fact, what I probably will do is I will build it as it is. You know, I won't go to the extent of smoothing it out. I have two of these. I just want to try and get an enterprise built, you know. And again, because this one comes with a little lighting kit, it's not anything like the proper refit, but just to get the effect. I know there's lots and lots of aftermarket parts for things like this, the crystal and so on, but again, I just don't have the budget at the minute to get stuff like that. So I'll just build it as a straight build. I don't know. I've seen people who have taken it and smoothed out a lot of it and just kept the main. Sorry.
Bob's showing you his.
Oh right. Now, did you do that way, Bob? Did you do it as a smoothed or a non-smoothed?
I just left it as is. Actually, I went the other way and actually brought it all out to make it kind of show up.
Yeah.
Bob,
it looks fine.
Did you have the trouble with the nacelles with that kit?
Not at the time, but this one made the death plunge from the ceiling.
Oh,
this is pretty much all that's left of it.
Because I found with that kit especially, the nacelles tend to go like this.
Right. And I have seen
the pylons are now part of my 1000 Peregrine.
No, but we're talking about 84 kit. I mean, they don't go in pretty good. When they're in there like that, they tend to sort of go. So when you point them in, Liam,
yeah.
What I did, I got myself a wooden pivot. So with a leg going here and two like struts like that. So when I put the actual struts in for the ship, I actually attached them to this while it was drying off.
Yeah. And
fixed them with some really heavy bonding stuff in the actual ship itself. But if you don't, you'll find that these nacelles will go like this.
I've seen different recommendations. Some people actually take the nacelles and attach them to the part of the body that goes onto the secondary hull and fix them in place there before it ever goes near the secondary hull. And I have, you know, obviously I can't touch it until the 1st of February, but I have been looking at it to try and decide what I will do with it. But it's you know, it's an old kit, but and it builds up to a reasonable size. I don't know, you know, in terms of size, it's not a refit, but you know, compared with the refit, it's about, I would say it's half the size, but it still ends up 22 inches long. So yeah, I know, so you can see the difference in size in my head. But It's I have two of them, so I'm tempted to do that one. One of them has a lighting kit, and then the other one is a Star Trek 6 version, which doesn't come with the lighting kit, but it comes with a little shuttle, which apparently isn't to scale anyhow. So
no, it's not. It's about that big.
the only annoying thing about the lighting kit is
the base, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lighting kit still works fine, bar the main deflector light's not coming on, and the sound doesn't work for some reason. I don't know why. Because it did do a photon torpedo sound and a phaser sound, I think, originally, but I'll try and get it working again if I can. But it's I don't think I'll use the stand. The stand is awful. I mean, the stand's just, again, it's just so big. It's just silly looking.
Yeah, it is a bit clumsy coming, isn't it?
Again, it's huge. But it all comes apart. I mean, the board comes out, the board's there, so I can try and mount it into. But say that the little speaker was disconnected when I got it. I got it as a second-hand kit. But everything else seems to be fine on it. No major issues that I can see, but I say until I get stuck into building it, I won't know for certain. I know there's a wide variety of enterprises being talked about on John's proposed build, so it's interesting to see what everyone comes up with. But I just want to do something Star Trek related. I have all these Star Trek kits, but I haven't really built as many as I want to.
Someone's even doing a boat because it's called Enterprise.
Oh yeah, it's an Enterprise. It can be the Enterprise. I think there's an Enterprise in the War of Independence, Bob. Isn't that right? I think there is.
What's that?
There were 3 different sailing ships named Enterprise for the U.S. Then there was the HMS Enterprise. Those were all sailing ships. And then we have obviously the Space Shuttle Enterprise. There's the carrier during World War II, the 1960s carrier. I think isn't that that's just retired? Yeah, decommissioned, and they're starting a new build on a new one.
Right, another Enterprise. That confuses the timeline. That wrecks everything. There shouldn't be an Enterprise in between. And obviously you've got the 1701, and then the TOS one, and the refit, and then the A, B, C, D, or E.
Yeah, or whatever. Cadet series ones for that build, I think.
Yeah. It'd be an interesting one to see what everyone does, and there's no time limit on it, which is a good thing because the speed I go at is probably not a bad idea. I'm also, there's an Irish forum I'm on, and they're doing a Hollywood build, which again is almost infinite. You know, you can do anything. You can do a war movie, you can do sci-fi, you can do a TV sort of related movie or something, a particular car or ship or plane or whatever it may be. It's actually quite a good idea for a build. It's something that may be worthwhile looking at maybe later on in the year for the European Hangouts, just to suggest if anyone wants to put forward an idea that we could all build. Sorry?
Talking about ships, I wonder if anybody has seen one of these. This is they do several of these different. It's not science fiction. These are like proper ships, and I wonder if any of you guys have seen any of these. I'll show you. I'll screen share and show you this, and it's a 1-in-350 size, and it's the price. And I was wondering if any of you guys had seen one. Hang on. This one here. Can you see this?
Oh, it's one of the Russian kits, Zvezda. Is it?
Have you ever seen one?
I can't see it. Oh, hang on. Yeah, Golden Hind.
Yeah, but it's 1-in-350, and it's selling for about £9.
Well, that's going to be pretty small. 1-350 at that ship's going to be, because it wasn't a big ship originally.
Yeah, but if it's a 1-in-350 scale, it's going to be as big as this bloody Enterprise.
Oh no, nowhere near. Because the Enterprise was what, I can't remember how many meters in length the Enterprise was, but
yeah. Okay.
You know, those ships that Sir Francis Drake went around the world in were, you know, you think they went around the world in that. If you saw it in real life, that's quite small. It should give you a dimension somewhere on it.
These look like at the back. It doesn't look like that bad little model.
I actually have a wooden Golden Hind that I got a few years ago that I did a bit of work on, but I never finished it. And again, it's about 14 inches long, and I don't know what scale it is. I think that's 1/96 scale. It is a lot smaller, I think, than you'd expect for the size of it. I have a 1-350 Tamiya kit of a Musashi, which was the sister ship to the Yamato, you know, in World War II, and it's almost 3 foot long. So but that is a massive big ship. The original ship isn't enormous. So, you were saying earlier on, Dean, about you said you saw me with an aircraft here, and you went aircraft and sort of spit it out type of thing. I mean, do you build anything other than sci-fi stuff, or is it?
I used to be honest. When I was a kid, and I was an avid modeler, all you could get was planes and tanks and boats. So I used to buy anything. I mean, even things like Jeeps, like I say, tanks and all. But now there's so much sci-fi around there, I can just target that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I'm going to share something if I can find it here, and I'm just wondering if anybody has seen it. Just bear with me a minute. I'll get the page up first. I came across this the other day on a site, and I was surprised to see it. I wasn't aware the magazine existed. Let me just share this in a second. Perhaps you'd be aware of it. Wait, let me bring this up now. Back to that page. Share, that one. Share. It's Sci-Fi Scale Sci-Fi Models magazine.
Oh, I've not seen that.
Was that English?
In UK.
No way.
So I don't know. Hold on, go down a bit. There's a V section. So building V. I mean, it's well, it was a one-off test issue that didn't sell well. It was £20 for an issue.
Yeah.
But it's obviously detailed. You know, and there's a lot in it. All the V, which I've never seen anyone build on Sci-Fi. Maybe I'm wrong now, but I haven't noticed it on Sci-Fi Model Action. Perhaps Bob will correct me. But are you seeing those pages okay?
Yeah, it looks quite good.
Yeah, so you can see them.
Never seen that at all.
So that's just all V and nothing else. I'll just go on a bit to see what else. In fact, I think the whole thing is V from the look of it. And then we've got the Star Wars figures. And again, down to, again, it's from, I'm not sure which film or movie it was from, but...
That's the anime thing, I bet.
Yeah. So you can see there's a lot of stuff in here. I'm just running down to the pages. A flying vehicle of some kind, yep. Drop down. I know I'm probably, and then you've got obviously someone's built a Mark 7, I think, isn't it?
Is this a recent thing, Liam?
It was 2014. I can't get a date on it, and I've been trying to find out who the publisher was. If I do get any more details, I'll post it on the Google Plus page. But then you've got to sign on. So there's a lot of, that's some nice builds in it.
Yeah.
And whether it was a one-off test, which sometimes happens in the UK, you get a magazine will be published as a one-off test issue. But I haven't come across any other issues of it or any details of it being published. So again, right to the very end here, just the last page may have an indication of. So it's Hobby World. So that's the publisher, but I've never come across them before.
No way.
So let me just switch back here. We're coming up to 8:20. Anything they want to raise or discuss? I know we haven't had a massive turnout tonight. Apologies, guys. Just just pre-Christmas up to now, it's been a bit of a variable turnout. I don't know whether it's because it's a European hangout and it doesn't suit time-wise for the US. But just a disappointing last few weeks. But it's been interesting. I mean, I know certainly last week and this week's been interesting. I think certainly seeing a bit more of Dean's setup, and we always talked about Dean doing a pan around the room to sort of see what else he has hiding. But perhaps we should be a bit, if he wants to, I'll be quite happy to do it.
I'll tidy up first.
Sorry?
I'll tidy up first.
Tidy up. Oh, that's fair.
No, we need to see the modeller's room as it is.
Oh, but you don't want to see this.
Well,
hey,
that was my thing. Over Christmas, I had to tidy up because things were getting so bad, and then I've got all the kits and so on sorted out, and there are a lot of them, but all the Star Trek stuff's all in one place mostly. There's my co-host Craig's just joined us here now. Hi Craig, can you hear us? Hello.
Hey guys.
Hi Craig, how are you?
How's you all doing? You alright?
Yeah, great, yep.
Oh.
Andy was on earlier on, but had to leave unfortunately. But we haven't had a fantastic turnout. But we're trying to persuade Dean to show us the rest of his room, but he says it's too messy, so he can't. So
Dean,
Oh.
your room would be like any other modeller's room. Look at this. I'm not ashamed. Look, I'm a proud modeller. See? Look at mine. Everything's everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm saying nothing, Jamie.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, we're all the same. Well, I'll do the same thing then. Here we go. Handwriting. So
I'm not
I've got a pile of kits at the back. So hold on. I'll change to switching back and forth here. Hold on a second.
Yeah, but Liam, look at this. Everybody's got kits, look, see?
Oh yeah, no, but I'm just saying. So that's the back.
Like I said, we're all of much to much, aren't we?
But then this is. So I have tidied up the work area a lot.
Yeah, for now.
For now, yes. But then if you look over at the other bench over the far side there, that's the more accurate one. But I'm trying to get into good habits.
Yeah, then you can have a quick look at my bench.
Hold on, this switch off.
Here we go.
Hold on.
He's showing us the workbench. Oh, I recognise that. That looks like my bench.
Yeah.
It's well done.
Be messy and proud, Liam.
Look at it.
It's a workbench. It's what me modellers do.
What's the figure? I see
Place for everything.
German heads there and figures from. Oh, picture stopped.
Go be.
Have we lost you?
Have we lost him?
Oh, typical.
I froze up.
Oh dear, I think it's been too much for a system. Hi Craig, just before we finish off, I'm conscious of the time here, over and happy. Your Aliens vs Predator build was looking some nice pictures there. You got one of the figures?
Yeah.
Not Aliens vs Predator, sorry, not Aliens. Like that, reverse it. It's the Aliens versus Marines, the bigger part.
No, it's AVP.
What's the beginning of the film?
Kind of halfway through.
Okay, alright. Oops.
There's my little alien anyway. He's got the washers on. He's just kind of drying.
So how come you only got the one? Just only was one available? Is that the issue, or?
Well, I got one to start with to make sure the scale was right. To make sure the 35th scale actually fit.
Yeah.
I've got one coming from Hong Kong, and I've got another one coming from the States, that's the Warrior B, I think it is, and the other one's the Warrior A. So there's going to be 3 on the actual dio itself.
So long as there's no problems that passport control, they'll both get in okay?
Hopefully not. Hopefully they've got their green cards with them. But it's on its base now. I've got some Gucci switches coming. They're kind of like, the Predator's helmet with the lasers on the side. They kind of look like that. I'll see if I can find it. Hold on. I shall show you the pictures of it.
Dane's just posted up his camera's buggered, so that's my fault for insisting he shows the room.
Right, so the switches I've got, those ones. I don't know if you can see that.
Are they? You press them or touch?
Yeah, it's the buttons in the middle, but it's like angel eye going around it.
That's nice.
So that's that. I've also got the other alien, which is kind of like the dog alien out of Alien 3.
Yeah.
So that one's coming from Hong Kong. That's the one that's going to be eating the bloke near the Humvee. But you can take the dome off the top of that. So you can take the dome off and have it like as a warrior sort of thing.
Yeah.
But that's the second alien. And then the third alien is... Where is it? That one. You can't really tell, but that's the other figure to the one I've already got.
It still needs to be assembled, is it, or it's just the way it's in the packaging?
No, it needs to be assembled. There's 19 pieces per alien.
Okay. Are these being 3D printed, or are they?
No, they're the original AEF designs from the 80s, I think it was. They made them.
Right,
so it's kind of like a resin, maybe like a plastic sort of thing.
Like hen's teeth.
Yeah,
Very
they are.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Listen, lads, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm going to have to go because I've got to go to work. So I'll see you all next week, okay?
Okay, Jamie, thanks for calling in tonight.
Alright, Jim. See you in a bit, buddy.
See you later, Greg.
See ya.
Dean, are you still here? Or yes, but there's no. You can only type. Oh, sorry. That's all my fault. Hopefully you get resolved or sorted out for the next hangout next week. But whatever's happened, I'd say I can only recommend this little. I don't know. They were commenting about this camera I'm using now, Craig. I've got a new camera here, and the problem is it's got too much information on it. You can see I haven't shaved today, so I'm ashamed to say. But it's definitely much better quality, and if I can just lift it off and transport it around the room quite easily.
Yeah.
So £15 in Maplin, a bargain from Maplin, which is unheard of. It's like Radio Shack would be the same, I think, Bob. In the States, they're not known for their bargains.
Wow.
Yeah, so the same here. This is just it's a Logitech C270 because Craig's Dean's just asked me. Logitech C270 for $14.99 in Maplin. It's actually cheaper than Tesco's, which is saying something for Maplin. Conscious of the time, we're coming up here on 8:30. Not a great turnout tonight, Craig. I was just saying to the other guys, pity we'll have to sort of maybe ask if anyone wants anything specific discussed, or if there's any way we can maybe change the time, if that helps in any way, just to try and get a bigger turnout. Although I think a lot of people seem to be post-Christmas sort of not interested in anything at the minute. It's the impression I'm getting from a sort of lot of things online at the minute, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But as always, just want to say thanks to Boyd Crampton again, and sponsors HCA Modelworks and Ralph Tenaglia at tennacontrols.com for supporting SFMA, and that's it for this week, and hopefully next week, same time, same channel again, guys. Hopefully see a better turnout. Thank you. Good night. Good night, Craig.
Good night.
Rob. Good night, Dean.